Hello everyone, CrystalFissure here, and welcome to another edition of ISGP Talk. We're here with the third season, and we're speaking to someone who is very familiar of splitting things up into seasons. It is TooneySA. Welcome. This has been like almost a year in the making, hasn't it? This is ridiculous.
Yeah, we did speak about it, like having a talk. I think it was in May.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was that long ago. Gosh, was it really that long ago?
I reckon it was like either May or June or something like that. And then
I hadn't been in the server for very long, that's for sure. When you brought it up,
you wanted to, showboat, just get your face out there straight away, And I thought, nah, we got to put the kibosh on that. We got to stop this guy. He's gone mad. He's gone hungry with power already. But now, finally, you're on the show, and we're going to be talking about a lot of things actually. But we're going to start off with Spyro Speedruns Cup, of course, because that's the current tournament we're doing. You were obviously in Group Fujita, and based off of a New Japan Pro Wrestling legend. And I wanted to know, what do you think about your group so far? Obviously, you've been in 2 races. What are your thoughts of the group in general?
All right, am I allowed to say the results of those races?
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, yeah, so I was kind of forewarned, I think a week before the group that I had would be an interesting one. And so far it has been. I've actually not raced with every single person in that group except for Garion from our own different races.
Of course.
So I only knew about Laura's sort of proficiency in Spyro, and I knew that they were like really good at Spyro 1. I've actually asked for them for help in the past on certain things for a different series. So I saw the group and I thought this is going to be an interesting set of races, and I've done 2 so far, as you mentioned. I've done a race with Garion, and well, has he improved like a lot since just even a month ago. I kind of, like, not to sound proud, but like I kind of imagine Garion being a steamroll match.
Yeah. Just
because he has like his own way of doing routes,
Gary,
which are usually interesting, but usually not optimal. But
Yes.
He actually came up on top with a better route than me. I think he just was a bit unlucky with the outcome, really.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, no, he's definitely someone that has improved. Obviously, it's his first actual ISGP tournament as well. But obviously, through GRA and stuff like that, I've known that he's been a prominent member there for a few years at least. So yeah, I'm super happy with how he's gone as well. And then you ended up facing XCow, who is a member you wouldn't know him from the very first ISGP.
Yeah, how long ago was that ISGP?
That was 2018. Yeah, because they're basically every 2 years, like the main tournament, the main line. Yeah, so do him. So then with that, you have Liam, Laura, and Cyrides left.
Yeah, so XCal, I actually did that race this morning. Obviously not when this video goes up, but this morning. And yeah, I didn't really know anything about him other than that he'd been in a tournament in the past. And he's kind of in a similar situation to me, but less so for how work is at the moment, in that like he's got a lot of responsibilities. So I kind of knew he wouldn't have a lot of time to. Yeah, congratulations. Yeah. I don't know if it was a boy or girl.
I think a girl, Kira. Yeah.
Kira, okay. We'll have to name an egg after her if we ever able to mod the dragon egg names.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so I obviously didn't know his skill level, but I knew that I'd have one sort of advantage in that, like, I at least had a bit of time to practice, whereas he had next to no time to practice. I think he only did a single run through, if that. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had that advantage, and he still did a pretty good job. He was only a few minutes behind. Yeah. That leaves Liam, who I think he's really good at Spyro 3. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how good he is at the other ones.
He'd call himself a Spyro 1 expert, but last year, if you remember, it was the race against Dan Davidson. They had this like unbelievably epic Spyro 3 race that went for like an hour. And that was where like everyone was like, whoa, Dan's really good at Spyro 3, but then everyone was like, oh, whoa, Liam's really good at Spyro 3 because he practiced for like 8 hours. Like that was like the first time he'd ever like done it since he was a child. So yeah, he got super good. So yeah, you've got some tough opponents left, but at the same time, beating Garion it means there's definitely potential for you to finish top of your group. There's definitely potential for that.
Yeah, I think top 4 is definitely within grasp.
Yeah, I think one more win.
I think with Liam, I'd prefer to do like a Spyro 2 race, because like with Gary and I did Spyro 3. With Laura, I'm gonna be absolutely destroyed in Spyro 1.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I'm not even practicing for the Spyro 1 race with Laura, because if I compare someone who's probably got 2,000 hours of practice in that game versus me, who's maybe got 200 hours, probably less than that. I think it's an uphill battle just choosing the game. I know she allowed me to choose the goal, which is cool, but like I could literally pick any goal, and I just know that she will have a route ready for it. So that I've already written off as a loss before that's even happened. Yeah. But with Liam, I would like to maybe try Spyro 2.
Yep.
Because I think that would be a good middle ground between our skill levels. So.
And then Sai's usually down for anything, so lovely guy. So yeah, so it should be very interesting. Your group is definitely interesting, and yeah, at this stage, everyone's been beat now except for you. So obviously, but we'll probably have some more races go up. So it's going to be interesting, the dynamics. I think it's going to be a very competitive top 2 at the very least. I think the top 2 is going to be who defeated who and stuff like that in the head-to-head. Are there any people from, for going back into the past slightly from ISGP 2, any people that you enjoyed racing from the first tournament that you were in?
Absolutely. I mean, I want to say my first race was actually against Dan Davidson. I think it was.
Yeah. Group B, yep. You were a replacement to Group B.
Oh no, I don't think it was actually. I think I went on a winning streak, if I remember correctly, of like 3 wins.
Yeah.
And then Dan was what broke my streak, and then I went on like 3 losses or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. And then, I mean, Group B from last year, just to recap, was so competitive. And, having Colapro come in, who's quite good, having, who else was it?
TK, I think.
TK was very good. But Vitus was the one that was screwed. He was the one that where if there wasn't the replacements, he would have shoe-in made it. But it was because of you guys coming in that knocked him out. So Vitus is going for his revenge in Spyro Speedrunners Cup 2021. But yeah, no, that you guys had a legendary group. One of the toughest groups, I think, in ISGP history, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect to go through because I was a last-minute replacement. I instantly saw, okay, these guys actually put effort in, and I wasn't really putting any effort in. So I was kind of like... Yeah, I was kind of surprised to go through it, but like I do remember distinctly the match with Dan, because obviously Dan was my first loss, and I remember being like, "Oh, I'm actually surprised to have lost to Dan," because he's like, he wasn't really a name that people spoke about as like a tough competitor at the time.
He was a newbie.
Yeah, and look at him now. Like he's pushing like world class kind of level in some of the categories.
What was the race? I think there was a race that went up a couple of days ago as of the recording here. So maybe by the time this goes up, probably like a week ago. And it was him versus, I think it was Lucas. And he's in the first level and he does a freaking proxy, like just to skip up the Sheila's area. I'm like, fuck this guy, this fucking motherfucker. How is he so good now? Like it's he's gonna be borderline unbeatable in Spyro 3. But to be honest, and I think that you probably don't. I mean, you probably have your preferred game. But when I watch you as a speedrunner, I just see that you've been pretty good at all 3. The problem with being super good at one game is it puts a target on your back and no one wants to race you in it. So in some ways, it can be a disadvantage to be too good at a game. You could argue.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm only actually agreeing to do a race with Laura at the moment in Spyro 1 because I kind of feel bad that everyone has avoided that. I think one person actually recently, I think the last race they did was Spyro 1 with Liam.
Liam. She did it with Liam, and that's because again, Liam's a great sport as well, and he actually loves Spyro 1, so he had a good time. So.
Yeah, I mean, I would regard Spyro 1, well, I would have regarded Spyro 1 as my best game, but I kind of made the unwise decision to go through Reignited recently.
Yeah.
So it kind of feels a bit off now playing it on the PS1 version.
It was weird, yeah. I'm doing this mod thing for Crash 2, with like they made like a mod for Crash 2 with like Super Mario style basically, and it's like a 2D thing. And I don't know if it was just a mod, but playing it after I played Crash 4, it feels so weird going back. Like in Reigniter's case, I would go, no, I prefer the original style. With Crash 4, I actually think I prefer the jumps, like, because I played Crash 4 so much in the last few months, I actually prefer it. So, you know, TooneySA are probably definitely capable of making a smooth gameplay thing. And I do hope that, you know, with the theoretical Spyro 4, you know, they will fix some of those things, because there is a lot of potential with those games. But you're right, something is slightly off, especially to us classic players that are playing the classic all the time. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. So in a tournament like this where you've got to go back, little things like just the sharpness of the movement and how rigid the movement is in Spyro 1. It's a very precise game. I think it's the most precise for movement out of the three. I think the movement is everything in that game.
I think you're right.
So like even just a simple thing like taking a second to turn around when Spyro does that annoying turn around animation instead of doing like a quick jump and charge out of it. Like that's stuff that I've kind of lost a bit playing Reignite. Going back, I did like 2 runs through for my practice with Laura, but I think that'll be it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not confident that like it doesn't matter how much time I put in. I think it will be a walkover.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think what was the question again? It was about previous races. So yeah, Dan Davidson was definitely one. I distinctly remember beating Game Sendy. It's a fun memory.
Yep.
I'm not sure why it's fond in my memory. I think it was just because it was my final race.
It's because you've beaten an Irish guy, you know, so that's, you know, we all know the rivalry there. I mean, my favorite meme is you calling him English like 4 times, which I'm sure at this point has to be an inside joke.
I don't know, man. I was drunk for most of those races, so like, I mean, particularly the triple threat. I think the only race I wasn't drunk for was against TK. Again, in Spyro 1, I definitely didn't drink for that.
I just realized I've got a beer here actually now. Crack that open. There you go. Fuck. There you go. You can't see this, so it's unfortunate, but...
I know, it's kind of weird, like speaking to like a disembodied voice while trying to look at the camera, and then
there's
no like point of reference.
But you can't see me.
I know.
Right, let's get a squiz. Alright, okay. So, let's talk a little bit about the fact that you are living in an Asian country, which is pretty interesting. Like, you want to talk a little bit about what you do, because obviously we'll talk about GRA in a minute, but you know, what do you do with your life, you know, and lockdown and COVID and all that kind of stuff.
So I moved to Vietnam 4 years ago, but with the intention of only coming for 6 months.
The classic.
I just finished like a university degree. I did like a bit of time trying to build up a bit of a company for myself. On the back of like a theatre arts degree, but like we're kind of in the height of a conservative government over there at the moment, so like the arts isn't really usually funded very much.
No.
So I kind of put that on the back pedal. I did like a bit of arts and a bit of like teaching assistant job on the side to just make ends meet, really, to keep the company going.
Yeah.
But then like I wasn't really making enough money to sort of justify wasting my time with it.
That sucks.
Yeah. But luckily, I had a few thousand in the bank for savings, so like I was like, you know, I'm going to do something to shake up my life a little bit. Just you know, people say, you know, explore when you're young, which is a bit of a cliche, but I kind of compare that to exploring when you're older, and you haven't got the bones to like enjoy
That's right.
it quite as much. You know what I mean?
Exactly right.
So yeah, I came out here for 6 months. I went straight to living in the countryside. And started doing the very typical white thing to do out here, which is to teach English.
Yeah.
It's the only skill that we're valued for over here, to be honest.
That's true.
Yeah, because everything else is cheaper. They can just get anyone else to do any other job a lot cheaper. So this is like the only job that you can do, unfortunately. So yeah, I did that in the countryside. I picked up a bit of Vietnamese while I was there because no one spoke English except my students, and you don't want to invite them out for a beer.
Yeah.
That's...
They're a bit too young, though, I'm pretty sure, aren't they? Like, literally.
You have different ages. I've taught as young as two years old, which is insane, and I don't recommend it to anyone that has any self-respect. Mm-hmm. You're essentially a glorified clown.
And probably babysitter, right?
Yeah, I mean, you have accidents all the time going on in the class, which luckily, thank God, the TA's got to deal with. I didn't have to to deal with bathroom malfunctions.
Oh.
But yeah,
like,
I
little
taught
Timmy shat himself. Lewis, it's up to you to clean it up.
Well, you say Little Timmy, but the names are a lot more difficult to pronounce. So like,
Yeah.
Lil Ngup has wasted her underwear.
Are you able to say, I'm good at Spyro now in Vietnamese?
I'm good at Spyro now. Well, I don't think I've learned the word for now. I learned the word for recently.
I'm good at Spyro recently.
Lúc này tôi thoát Spyro 1, 2, 3.
That's right, exactly. That's exactly right. Fraser would be very proud of that because he's very good at Spyro now. Obviously, he's been training.
He's been saying that for years. Yeah.
That triangle, it's funny you say he's been trying for years. Like that whole meme originated in 2020 last year. It was basically the Death Triangle like reveal promo, like our group. But I went back and watched this other speed run from like 2018, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna win. Like, I'm quite good at the game now. Like, it was like sort of like a prototype of good at Spyro now. Mm-hmm. And I just thought that's just funny. He's just been saying that for years.
It keeps coming back, exactly.
But that's awesome. So basically, you teach, and you've been pretty much teaching pretty normal, haven't you? Like until recently, right? Like with COVID.
Yeah, so COVID, I moved back to the city about 3 years ago. Long story short, the competition wasn't happy that they had a native speaker teaching there, so they did their best to get rid of me as soon as possible by making up arbitrary reasons why I shouldn't teach there.
Yeah.
So I ended up moving back to the city because there's I think 40,000 expats live in Ho Chi Minh.
That's
something
where you
like
are,
that.
Ho Chi Minh City.
Yeah. So I prefer to call it Saigon because that's where its local name is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's 40,000 of us here, so you're a bit less under the radar, or a bit more under the radar, I should say. Mm-hmm. So I taught for a few years, and then COVID hit. I think February? I was literally in England when COVID was becoming a thing.
Yeah.
And I was kind of fortunate that a week before planes coming back closed down, I managed to get on the plane back because that's when my flight was booked. And then a week later, they blocked all flights from even
so
domestic
lucky.
flights.
Far out. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, all my stuff's here, so
and
it would have been a nightmare.
You wanted to stay, because obviously you have plenty of reasons to stay, right?
Yeah, so I came back because again all my stuff's here. I pay rent here. Mm-hmm. That would have been a nightmare. I'd have been stuck in England, and then what am I going to do about all my things?
Yeah,
they're stuck over here. All my clothes, everything's over here. So I was lucky to get back on time. I should mention my fiance is also here.
Yeah, I was waiting. I didn't want to say it. I wanted you to say it.
Things for a fiance in that order of priorities.
Yeah, if she's watching this, she'll be like, I can't believe you didn't bring me up first thing.
Luckily I've got a photo here of us together in. It's not a very clear photo. I'm not sure if I've got a better photo line around. Oh, this one's a much nicer photo. I've got this memento done in Da Nang, which is my favorite city. Here's a picture of us.
Oh, amazing. Jacked Tooney. It's funny. It's funny. I was thinking that when you're going to introduce yourself at the start, you're going to be like, "Hi guys, hello everyone, TooneySA here. I'm getting married." Just to appease the fiance. But look, if you're going to be in the doghouse, you can't blame me, buddy. Okay? You can't.
It's all right. I'll get a copy of this video and rearrange the sections around.
I mean,
so hello everyone, I'm TooneySA here, and I'm getting married soon.
There we go. All right. I should cut that in. I should fucking. Oh my god. But it's you put a preview at the start instead, being what's TooneySA gonna say in this exclusive interview? I'm married, and then just cut to the beginning.
I am married, please. Yeah, she's actually not here at the moment. She's COVID's actually just reared its ugly head again. Big time. Because Vietnam is very aggressive once they hear about cases.
Yeah.
So as soon as they found there was a couple of cases in the city, I think there's 40 or something like that. Mm-hmm. So not a huge amount, but it's back. So they've locked everything down immediately. I'm out of work again for a bit. And she had just gone to visit her hometown for, they call it Chinese Lunar New Year. Mm-hmm. So she's now stuck in a different province, and I'm stuck here. So
She's
we're going to be
stuck?
spending her New Year. Yeah. They put out a directive of no traveling between provinces. So I could do it, but it might get caught. So might be best not to risk it.
It's tough. It's obviously there's the debate. You know, there's valid sides with everything. You know, because it sucks from a personal level. At the same time, though, like Australia, like I've been able to live like basically a completely normal life. Like I even went to a concert last week, like distance concert. So we have obviously been lucky, and it's kind of one of those things where it sucks, but at the same time, I think we both sort of have that empathy for, like, I mean, of course, your home country, like England's just been so fucked, quite frankly, that it's like, you're lucky, in a way, you're lucky. Like, if this is the biggest hardship you've had to deal with, like, you know, your fiance being away for a bit of time, I think that realistically, you're doing okay.
Yeah, not to shoot myself in the foot, but like usually I'll be happy for a week away, but when all the bars are closed,
that's it.
Basically, it's a week in my house with maybe go for a swim. That's about it.
Do you have like a pool or like a?
Yeah. This apartment's really cool. Actually, it comes with a pool and a gym. So
gym.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
It's not a particularly great gym. It's an okay gym, but it's more the pool that I'm there for. You know, having a few drinks and then go for a swim.
That's right. Yeah. That's I think that's illegal in Australia. I don't think you can drink and swim. I think there's a lot of dry zones around. But if obviously you're in an apartment, you're okay.
It's a personal pool. So like, I mean, I think the first day I came in, they were like, "Don't smoke, don't drink by the pool." But like, we did it once, and they kind of just didn't say anything again. So
of course. That's awesome. So yeah, I mean, we've obviously talked. I remember like really early on, because we got along, you know, really quite well. And it's like, and a bunch of people in this community, and you know, your community, my community, they're almost one thing these days. Not my community. I don't mean that as in my community. Jesus.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I know you're talking about the community that you organise.
Yeah, exactly that one. It would be fantastic to be able to go to Vietnam. It's definitely been on my list of countries to go to. Of course, back to Japan like I do every fucking... Like this was the first time I didn't travel for like 5 years, you know, in the last year. So, woe is me. But Amelia Kukul, Mrs. Group Sugiura competitor, yes. Yeah, we would love to come over. And I know that as well, which we'll go to talk about with our final topic, I know that there is plans at some point to do a big ISGP GRA meetup in England or wherever.
Oh, you saw that, yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
Of course. It's going to be big.
Yeah, it's called Goon Meets. This is something from the website Something Awful. It's like, ever since that site existed, they called meeting up in real life Goon Meets. So yeah, we're talking about in England, trying to pick a sort of locale that's central to people who are there.
I propose Caerphilly, Wales, so you can go meet up with James Jones, and because he doesn't deserve to travel, he doesn't have to travel. I think you guys should all go to him. He can play you a massive violin like concert, like multi-instrumentalist. Stream James Jones' album now if you want, and then you guys can go buy him drinks all night. And I think that's probably the fairest result with the meetup, I think.
Well, disclosure, I've never spoke to James Jones, so I'm not even quite clear on who they are.
I'm
not sure if I've even been in a call with them.
This is done. I can't believe it. I can't. What really? Okay, that's it. We're going to set up a match. Well, that's happening. You know what? He literally is in GRA though. That's the best thing ever.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people kind of moved over just to see what it was about. The Good Rung Angus joke.
Yeah.
Just to see what it was about. And then like they just moved over and then never left, but like don't really participate in what we do.
No, that's right. I mean, fuck. I mean, I haven't really, but we'll talk about that. Tell us for the 10 people, actually, because I mean, obviously, everyone watching this from the ISGP community knows what GRA is, but for the ISGP fans that may not be aware, what exactly is GRA?
It stands for Games Raced Awfully. The idea was it was a bit of a mockery of speedrunning in general, but it was also splintered off from a community that existed long before than we did. There used to be like a Skype chat back in the days of Skype with like 150 people.
Oh, whoa, okay.
Yeah,
Jesus.
it was huge. So if someone accidentally started a call there, it'd usually crash everyone's Skype.
Of course.
You have to kind of splinter off into mini groups. But yeah, so I kind of joined that on its dying year. And I was like, oh, this kind of sucks. Like, I've just joined as it's finishing. So I was like, all right, I'll just start my own and see if I can get any interested participants. So the people who started up with me, I just met them on the comment section of one of these race videos, and we had just like got talking and agreed to sort of do a race. So these races are not serious. I'm not saying like ISGP is a super serious tournament. There is like that element of fun, but some people do take it like seriously. They want to be the champion for real. Like they're actually, that's their goal, is to win the title, which is fair. But as was always like a style of like, it's almost like 4, 5, 6 let's plays happening at one time, with the race as just the reason why we're in a call together. That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And the editing production values are always exquisite. Requiring you to record your own audio so you can sync it to all these different lights and stuff like that. So it's all very, very high-end stuff. But obviously, by its nature, that's why you don't race mostly you don't race every weekend. Sometimes they'll be busy, but like you don't do like 20 races a week like we do. You more like do two to 3 a month, depending on who's interested and the kind of games. And you have like a massive leaderboard dating back to like 2015 or something, right? Isn't it like,
Yeah, I actually only made the leaderboard a year ago, which was fun going back and trying to figure out who got what points. But
and of course you top in the leaderboard with basically being in like every race. So
every race bar 3 or 4, I think. So it's like an outdoor. That's why the leaderboard's also not super serious. It's more just so people can focus on actually the points ratio section. Yes, right. So they can see like on average how well am I doing.
Yeah, and you guys have a wiki which we'll put a link to recently. You guys had a website. I did find the secret page on the website. Thank you for putting me on the wiki there. 4th one in history. My check, which is for a few cases of Tiger beer, is coming. I know you told me that, so I'll be waiting. I've been waiting at the mailbox every day. So it's time.
When you come and visit, I'll buy you a crate. There you go.
Fuck. Jesus, how is that expensive, or is that
$10, something like that for a crate of beers?
Oh my god,
not bad. Yeah, like 24 cans, about $10.
Oh, that's too good. That makes me depressed that it's literally triple here at least. But yeah, GRA is really interesting, and I definitely like and I think, to be honest, in terms of these communities and sort of the way that they kind of merge together, I think they very much go in tandem. They go hand in hand. I think that's definitely one way of looking at it, because plenty of people from ISGP, plenty of people that I would call like GRA originals / GRA, like members of the GRA roster, quote unquote.
I love that phrase.
Yeah, the GRA, the graph roster.
We're gonna have like was it the WWE used to have like a roster switch or something?
Yeah, like the brand split or whatever they have. Yeah, but it does lead into an interesting scenario where you guys have these guys like Kazu and Fold Up Vermin and like and Mickey and what's his name, the No Such Thing, and all those guys. And it's interesting, like, they haven't been in ISGP, but it's funny because we recently have a new title, and I'm a little bit worried about the potential if you ever get that title, because I don't know what might happen. You might take it.
Foreshadowing much, but yeah, that is definitely a title that I've got my eyes set on. That's my title. Just a ludicrous title with ludicrous stipulations and results. Like I even joked yesterday in my race, like, oh yeah, first one to kill these 5 rabbits that are right in front of us. Because you said any time limit.
That's true.
So
it could be a 2-minute race.
It could be a 2-second race.
So it could be a 2-second race. Yeah.
Okay. The first one to press start, go.
But I think I mean, if you have it, and then there's people that stay in GRA, we might have a little bit of a problem. I know we just talked about how we're all friendly here, but I hope you don't have any plans if you do get that damn title.
Yeah, the ISGP title standing in GRA's pedestal. I hope it's an actual tangible item, so I can actually put it on somewhere behind me.
Yeah. We were actually thinking of getting. Yeah, we're probably going to get the exhibition title printed, like 3D printed or something like that. Put it on the back of like an AEW title or WWE title or something like that, and then see what happens. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. It definitely, just sort of talking about GRA and thinking about it, it definitely has me wondering if there's potential for a true crossover event or battle between some of the people that are strictly in ISGP or don't really do much in GRA and some of the people that are in GRA. So I don't know about how you feel about that, but
well, never say never. It's definitely something that I'd be interested in. Oh. So it could be an event that actually finally gives us some kind of, I don't know, undisputed title or something. Yeah. I don't know how we could do it, but yeah. I also had an idea of like just doing a sort of speed run. I think I called it in my brain platformer Prix, where it was like 4 different platforming games. Yeah. Right, and see who can do the best across all 4 in short, like 30-minute races or something.
Interesting.
Like that.
Yeah. Kind of like what we had. There's old tournaments and stuff like that. I think it was a tournament in 1998. That was like a 1998 themed tournament, and I think you played. It was like Ocarina of Time, Crash 3, and Spyro 1. So, similar concept where you can just really just play who's the best, in
platformer, quote unquote.
And not just Spyro 1, 2, and 3, because typically, you get, apart from some people, you're going to be decent at like all of them, I guess, but an actual different game like a Gex or a Gex or a Croc.
A Gex, a Croc, absolutely. A Rayman even, that's a platformer.
Yeah, Rayman. That's the thing about this exhibition title though, because obviously GRA loves to do varied races. You've got Pokemon coming up, you might be doing Zelda. Sims is something that's been talked about. So it's
a joke,
as a joke, but is it? It's a joke, but is it? I mean, it is games raced awfully. There's no ability that you need to have. If you want to be shit at it, go ahead.
Just gotta be awful. That's the bare minimum. As long as you're awful, you're in.
They call it games raced awfully, but the what I really wanted to say at the very end was that by now I think that the people in there have gotten so good. It's more like it's games GRD. It's more like games raced decently because I think there's some very much some skilled people in there at the moment. I think season 5 is what we're on currently. We usually do 1 season per year, but like it's not like set in stone. It just depends how quickly I can edit. Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, there's usually about 10 races per year, and like this is the first season where like the majority of people actually finish the races that they're in. Usually you get 1 or 2 finish. One's like halfway and gives up, and the other people are like on level 2 still. So this is the first time where it's more like games raced awesomely than game raced awfully. But like we still have a couple, like Kazu was in the Spyro 3 race and he was the only guy to not finish, so he was kind of filling in the quota for awfulness that we needed.
That's right, exactly. You'll know that GRA will need a name change when you can get through like 3 races without a DNF. That's how you know that you're.
I don't know what we're gonna do if that happens. Like rebranding, I don't think we can do that.
Well,
we might just have to make goals so hard that everyone DNFs.
GRA, it's like awful, awesome. Adequately. Games race adequately is probably the fair thing because obviously you're always gonna have people with different skill level. But adequate is a fair enough term that doesn't insult nor really compliment anyone. So.
It's like as you said the word decently. It kind of is the same bracket as that. Like no one's really good, no one's really bad. It's kind of
Well, from GRDs to GEDs to beers in a can to beers in a bottle. I must bid you all adieu. Tooney, it's been a pleasure to have you here. This might be like one of our longest ones ever. There's always too much to talk about, and I'm looking out because I see the glint in your eye about the kind of damage you might want to cause to with this exhibition title.
Well, as you're talking about this, I was literally scrolling trying to find who the current champion is. Has a champion been crowned yet?
There would be by the time this has gone up, and it's going to be whoever it is. Congratulations to you. As of recording, it's literally about to. It's like days away. So
okay,
get ready. It could be Noel McDavid. It could be Charity Dancer.
Gotta take the glasses off for this. To be announced. I'm challenging you for the exhibition title. At some point, be ready.
At some point, be ready. Who knows when? Well, maybe if this takes as long as the interview, maybe we'll as the interview was meant to happen. Maybe I'll give you a title match next year. Maybe you can just hold it away.
If you ever get it, I want to be the #1 contender.
Oh, absolutely. My dream is to beat Angus in a 400-meter run, but we'll see how that goes.
All right, and then I want you to edit on our faces on like the bodies of wrestlers.
Yeah.
So like we're still
of course. Or we just have a drinking beer, swimming, and gym off. To which case, I'm sure it'll be very evenly matched.
Hey, a drinking beer contest. That could be an interesting one. 3, 2, 1.
You just start off by drinking the beer, and then you go, oh shit, there's the swimming and the lifting part. Oh well. I
Yeah,
it.
that's a mystery race that just builds on goal after goal. Okay, you just pull out the goal from the hat.
Yeah, very much so. But yeah, it's been a pleasure, and we'll speak soon. Good luck with the rest of your matches, of course.
Thank you very much, and you too.
Thank you. I don't know what state I am in as of now, but I'm on the board somewhere. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you later. Goodbye.
Yep. Bye, everyone.